programs. Welcome to ArcNeo Reviews, where I turn a little more into Ashens every day. So, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at some very weird figures that I found at my Dollar Tree recently. These are the Final Faction figures. And here we have Alpha Team 1 Master Sergeant Steadfast with cartoon details on back. Yes, even though this is, as far as I can tell, a made for Dollar Tree line, it's by Greenbrier International, like all things, there's actually supposedly a proper cartoon. I have not checked it out. I'll check out an episode or two, and here's what I thought of it. There you go. So here you can see we've got stats for the character, a little bit of a bio there if you want to read it. The collect them all thing, little setup for the story. I have the hiccups, hooray. So, let's go ahead and pop this guy open. And see what we've got for Steadfast here. So, starting with just the guy, his face looks horribly, horribly melted, though I am aware that is intentional because we saw the artwork. Cyborg arm on this side, normal arm, legs. I do appreciate that he has, pegs in his feet for putting him on a stand. Head does rotate, limited. I mean, they tried to paint it. There's some dry brush work going on in places. It's not the worst thing I've seen. I've seen far worse happen. The helmet fits. It actually fits. I've seen a lot of things where they don't. And yes, he can hold the gun. You can even slip his finger in there, get him to hold it really well. So, yeah, not the worst place to start. Though, to be honest, I did cherry pick this guy as our first one. Because he is still the weakest of the figures. They do actually get better as you go. Worth mentioning, there's this port here on the side. Some figures actually come with little accessories that plug into that. Or rather, one figure did. So I'm wondering if in later waves they plan on releasing more of those. Or possibly even just straight up accessory packs. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. But anyway, there you have him. And for the next character, we have Sergeant Ruck. I have already opened all of these and checked them out. So you don't have to deal with all that going on. There's his bio if you want to read it. His stats, everything else is the same. And here's his figure. If the camera will focus on it. Hello. There we go. A little bit better paint. I've got to give it that. The face is a little generic, but it's not, monstrosity. This is the guy who actually comes with something that plugs into those little peg holes. So you've got that. This little, I'm guessing that's a power pack, is also its own accessory. But, again, same 5-point articulation, peg holes in the feet. Pretty decent sculpting overall, actually. There's a little bit of mold lines, but again, for the Dollar Tree, this isn't bad, and this is a decently solid feeling figure as well. I've got to give it points. The head wobbles a touch, but it's still fairly solid, fairly decent. So, kudos. And then next we have Sergeant Steel. So, again, you get your character artwork, bio, stats, there you go, pause. And here's the actual figure. he could have used a little more paint on the head just to differentiate the actual, like, the visor thing that he's wearing from his actual face. It's not a horribly racist face sculpt like I have seen come out of some of these cheap action figures. A little bit of dry brush. The painting, what little they did, is actually fairly clean and on point. You know, I've seen it get very bad in some cases. This manages to do it, you know, pretty well. Little wing backpack thing is a separate piece, so you can pop that off if you want. So, I mean, again, pretty decent little figure. And then we finally get to someone who is not a sergeant. We have Specialist Shift. So, yeah, same deal. Artwork, bio, stuff. And then you get to the figure itself, and it just looks like a mom. Like, that is the most mom head sculpt I've seen on a figure. But, I mean, to be fair, again, the articulation still works. Paint could have been a little better on the hair, but it's mostly okay. There is still head articulation despite the hair sculpt getting in the way. And what is actually nice is the swords actually do, like, slide in and slide out. So, for being what this is, yeah, this is impressive, mom face aside. So, again, points to Greenbrier or whatever weird sweatshop made these things. They didn't do a bad job. I have seen far worse that actually cost more. And for the last figure of the good guys side, we have ACRM, Augmented Combat Rescue Mech. Because we have to have a robot on the good guys side, there you have the stats. Here you have the interesting thing where apparently is a disabled 15-year-old piloting this thing. I hope he's doing it remotely. You know, I don't really know how any faction would be okay with just sending a 15-year-old into battle. But the figure we get, again, looks pretty neat. This one is incredibly heavy, actually. These legs are, like, solid molded, as far as I can tell. The chests on all of them are hollow, just because that's the easiest way for them to get the mushroom pegs in to do the articulation. But, yeah, this is still a pretty neat figure. Got this thing's covered in the pegs to hold stuff, actually. Kind of a shame it didn't come with anything to use them on, but he comes with a lot of pegs. You know, again, decent paint. I know, this is a very boring video for looking at Dollar Tree things, because it's all decent. There's even, like, battle damage carved into this thing. It's neat. I like it. And then we get to the even better stuff. So, for the first of the evil Karn, we have the Hive class Synthoid. Really, I just realized I don't think that's even, like, artwork. I think that's a bunch of filters ran on a picture of the actual figure. Okay then, that's thrown me a little bit, but here you go. Got your specs and stuff again. And here you've got the figure, which is unfortunately the weakest of all the figures. Literally. Yeah, this entire torso section, totally hollow, and this arm just will not stay in. I've tried taking this thing apart to see if I can close that up a little more. It's not having it. This arm just falls off, so I guess it's a action feature. Otherwise, it's actually pretty decent. The legs are, again, solid at least. I am tempted to go back to the store, see if I can find another of these that doesn't have that glaring gap, and maybe the right arm will stay in. But overall, really, really neat looking alien design, actually. Big fan of this one. Sure. So for the next one, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the drone. So, again, Hive class, drone, artwork. Actually, artwork this time for sure. Specs, stats, the stuff. And the figure. This thing is horrifying looking. This thing is actual nightmare fuel. It's really cool. There's not much to say other than that. It's cool. It's got some little tab points. Bleh. It's got holes that make my mouth stop working. But same basic articulation. It's got kind of this weird metallic dry brush over a lot of it. Molded in 2 different colors of purple. Unpainted but cool looking blue gun that, again, it actually holds the gun just fine. Really, really neat. Really ugly. And for the last one, we have the Brute. This is by far my favorite figure. I saved this one for last. Here's the specs. Yeah, durability and strength just off the chart. And here's the figure. By far, this one has the least amount of paint on it. But this thing is just... This is actually really, really cool. The head could use a little tightening up here. It's a little bit loose. But I mean, other than that, it holds the weird-looking gun. Again, totally fine. Good stiff joints. This is... I don't know what to tell you. You know, these are Dollar Tree figures, and they're like really good figures. They're on the cheaper, less painted side of things, but I mean, for $1, I'm not going to complain for $1. You know, that, oh, one figure has a slightly wobbly head, and the other figure looks like someone's mom. You know? Overall, I mean, I can see kids liking these quite a bit. I like them quite a bit, because, you know, I'm a nerd, and I like, you know, things like this. This is some good stuff at the Dollar Tree. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm pretty hopeful that we get a Series 2, actually, of these. Because, yeah, these aren't bad. I could probably take, especially these alien guys, put a little bit more paint on them, turn them into something spectacular. So, yeah, the Dollar Tree came out with something that I have to give a really, really big recommendation to. And on that stunning note, I will go ahead and shut up. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I will see you next time.